Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, welcoming you once again on my culinary tour of Europe, except there's no food involved, it's entirely music, but you could argue that music is food for the ears, mind, soul, heart, etc. I don't know where I'm going with this intro. Russia is the order of the day, again with the food references. Am I hungry? I just had dinner, calm down. Relax. Okay, so, Russia, they chose their song for Eurovision 2021 by an unexpected national final that kind of came out of nowhere, and the eventual winner of that was one Manizha Dalerovna Sangin and the song Russkaya Zhenshina, which, the title, well, when presented in Russian, the title means Russian woman. When it's presented in English, the title is just Russian woman, because in the national final, it had the Russian language title, and then for Eurovision, they seem to have done that thing that the EBU is fond of, where, oh, you're sending a song title that's not in a language we're familiar with, we will translate it for you. I'm like, just call it Russkaya Zhenshina. That's clearly what they... well, whatever. The phrase Russian woman does come up quite a bit in the song, so I suppose it's fair enough. But, yep, it's in Russian mostly, but there is some English in there. The English lyrics were tweaked between the national final and the final version of the song, which is good, because the original lyrics stated that Russian women were strong enough to bounce against a wall, which to me kind of sounds a little bit domestic abusey, so I'm glad they cleaned that up. Music and lyrics by Manizha herself, as well as Ori Avni and Ori Kaplan. And I could swear that I've seen Manizha in something else before, and for the life of me I don't know what. I thought maybe Turkvision, maybe one of the ABU song festivals, but I looked into the history of it and no, I've not seen her anywhere before, so I don't know why, but she just rings really familiar for some reason. But enough about her, let's think about the song. First impressions. Okay then, this is absolutely not what I was expecting at all, and even after last year I had no idea what to expect from Russia in the first place. Even based on what other people had been saying about this song, it still just came in out of nowhere and hit me like a truck, and I mean that in a good way. This song is just so unexpected, I think is the best word for it. It does seem rather divisive from the reactions I've seen so far, and I can totally see why some people aren't so keen on this one, but not gonna lie, I'm kind of into it. I like it a bit more every time I hear it. Manizha performs it with conviction, and for the first time in a long time, the Russian entry is, above all else, focused on freedom of expression and artistic originality, rather than just chasing points in the most formulaic way possible first and doing everything else second. It's a breath of fresh air in those standards, and you know what? Why not? I would be okay with more countries doing this sort of thing every now and then, preferably more now than then, but I'll take what I can get. The odd shock to the system can be good for you. I think. So, with that being said, let's celebrate the good in this song. First up, Manizha herself. She seems like the most qualified person on the planet to be performing this song, by which I mean she has so much confidence and personality when she performs the song, which results in her totally owning and commanding the stage and capturing attention along the way. Sure, the song itself may split opinions, but she's bound to keep people focused while the song is on, whether they like the song or not. She puts on a show. Seriously, there is passion and conviction in her delivery of this song, and that helps the message really, really stick the landing. A song like this would fold under its own weight if the person performing it didn't have a personal stake in it, but luckily, Manizha really brings it to life. Like, I'm neither Russian nor a woman, but even I feel, like, second-hand empowered by this song. Like, yas, queens, break the walls, show the patriarchy what you're made of. So, yeah, that sort of leads into me highlighting the obvious here. The song has a very good message. For those who don't speak Russian or haven't looked up the words like I have, this isn't one of those, I will sell you platitudes about women's empowerment and you'll pretend that I'm a deity of music. It's not one of those sorts of songs. This is far more almost conversational and sassy, and it feels far more real as a result. This is one empowered Russian woman looking to share and multiply that feeling across other Russian women. This isn't, you're a girl, therefore you've got the power. This is a case of, I, a Russian woman, have found strength, you can too, and if you find that hard, you can borrow some of mine. It's more than empowerment, it's solidarity, and it feels authentic. those 2 points alone count for a lot. And now, to step away from all of that, something else that I think merits highlighting in the composition, as well as the choice of language, the song has a couple of breaks in it that sound more, I'm not sure if traditional is the right word, but certainly more historically Russian sounding. It feels like those parts are incorporated in such a way that feels natural and germane to the song. It's not just a gimmick to give the song more flavour. Those breaks don't cheapen the song's message, and their inclusion doesn't trivialise the culture from which they come. All in all, the whole package comes across, as I said, as incredibly authentic on every level. Tabrik kana Manizha va bararikor. It really shouldn't come as a surprise, though, to discover that some people aren't quite so keen on this song, and that's okay too. The main thing that I can see some people not liking is this song has quite a few different faces, so to speak. That is to say, it has a lot of different styles that seem to sort of pop in and out almost at random if you don't know what's coming. There's the colloquial sort of rap side of the verses, there's the traditional Russian chorusy part, and there's the English language refrain. There's a lot going on, and it can seem busy and strange, and that sense of chaos can be a bit of a turn-off for some people. Fair enough. There's also the question of the melody of this song, or more accurately, it doesn't really have a defined tune for most of it per se, so much as it's sort of more like a beat poetry TED talk, and when there is a melody to it, it's relatively flat, dramatic, and extremely Russian sounding with the whole choir of voices situation. And as a stylistic choice, I like it, I think it works, but not everyone is going to, and to clarify, I'm not saying these things are bad, I just recognise that they are aspects that some listeners won't necessarily like, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a right to be there. You see what I mean? Altogether though, in the end, I could see some people concluding that the song gives off the vibes of being a technical demo rather than a finished song, from the rapidity and conversational nature of the lyrics, to the rapid shifts between musical styles, to even the specific nature of the composition and its depths and complexities. There's a lot that this song throws out in a very short space of time, and some people will inevitably feel a bit shut out by that, or that its chaotic nature automatically must suggest some level of amateurishness, which certainly isn't truly the case. Manizha is quite an accomplished singer. What I will say though, is that anyone who can look past these issues will probably vibe with this song more than decently, but if you don't look past them, that's okay, you are entitled to your own opinion as well, that's fine. Each to their own, that's how it goes. Now though, when it comes to sticking numbers into this song, people are gonna hate me for this, but I'm giving this a personal rating of 9 out of 10. I'm not even gonna call it a guilty pleasure because I don't even feel bad about this. On a selfish note, I love that this has so much Russian soundingness involved, like speaking as a Westerner who doesn't really know that much about Russian culture. You know, in terms of composition and language, it sounds to my ear very Russian, and I love that. But on a more general and more relatable note, I just really enjoy this song. It's a unusual little bop with a great message, and I'm kinda here for it. No one's going to appreciate me saying this, but it pleases me in a lot of the same ways that Tillemo Weiss did for Portugal in 2019. Make no mistake, they are two very, very different songs. It's just that the quirkiness and outside-the-box nature of both songs touch my brain in very much the same way. And why not? I think it's fun. On the technical side though, fair's fair. I think 4 is about the limit that people will put up with me assigning this song. It brings a lot of ideas to the table, and each one is very good in isolation, but the jury is very much out as to how well they'll work when sort of slammed together like this. It's sort of like having a radio that's tuned in between different stations, so you keep hearing snatches of a bunch of different songs all intercutting between each other. And while I personally enjoy that in this song, it does somewhat defy traditional songwriting sensibilities. Still, the message is great, and each identity within the song is well presented in their own rights, and Manizha brings so much personality and talent to the song, so it doesn't come across as a self-aware joke or a novelty, it doesn't come across as if it lacks effort. A lot of people are gonna be thrown by this song, but give it a chance, that's my advice. There is gold in here somewhere. Nevertheless, let's put the song to one side for a second here and think about how this looks as a response to last year's contest not going ahead. I can't say that the broadcaster handled the cancellation all that well, in all honesty, when all was said and done. True, the chosen act from last year, the group Little Big, have since come out of the woodwork and said that they are happy to let some fresh faces take the stage for Russia this year, but that may well just have been damage limitation from a PR standpoint. Behind the scenes, allegedly, the band submitted 3 candidate songs to represent Russia this year, and the broadcaster rejected all of them on the grounds of them being insufficient in quality. I won't criticise that. If they have standards to maintain and they don't feel that the songs lived up to that, then fair play to them. What bothers me more is how obviously last minute the national final was. Manizha herself, I believe, said that she was told she'd been selected for the show about a week before it actually happened, so she herself was on a bit of a time crunch to put this entry together in the first place. So, in short, I'd at least be a bit more forgiving with this rating if the broadcaster had just allowed themselves more time to sort these things out instead of procrastinating and then panicking at the 11th hour. It's not really a spectacular look for you, you know? But enough about all that, let's return to the present day. Is Russia gonna be performing this song again in the grand final? I've got to say, I don't really know. My instincts, based on analysing existing patterns, would suggest not, but my heart is telling me to never say never. Odds are less than spectacular, of course, because of how weird the song is, according to most people, and how people will probably feel about it. Thus, I don't expect the televote score for this song to be super impressive, though it may well be that countries with ties to Russia may connect to it more strongly, so Azerbaijan, for example, who also votes in semi-final 1, amongst others with slightly more tenuous connections. The juries, meanwhile, again, ones with ties to Russian culture, may have more of an appreciation for it just due to cultural ties, but ones without will likely find a bit less to praise here, so I struggle to imagine it breaking out of the bottom 7, especially given how strong semi-final 1 is already considered to be. But if Manizha did make it into the final, you know, I would be okay with it. I actually like this song so much more than the average person seems to, but that's the question. How do you feel about this song? That's always what I want to know. I encourage you, hear the song for yourself, tell me your thoughts if you want to share your thoughts. The point is, have thoughts of your own. If you agree, if you disagree, whatever, that's great, you're allowed to have your own voice. In the meantime though, to Manizha, to Team Russia, I wish you the very best of luck, and congratulations on sending something so different and out there this year. I look forward to seeing how you fare in the end.